Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the Office Blokes.
We are.
It's true, isn't it?
It is.
Not lying.
Fresh out of a week in jail.
Yeah, it feels good.
I know, it does.
At last.
Almost institutionalised, that close. But no, we're back out. What have we got going on at the moment? One of you.
Got a Patreon channel.
There you go.
Yeah, go and have a look at patreon.com, put in Office Blokes React. You can support the channel there if you want to for just £1.50.
Cheap.
That's our cheapest tier. Block content, exclusive stuff, early access, all that sort of thing.
And drum roll.
We're going to do a podcast every week.
Yeah.
Exclusive to the Patreon. Yeah, keep your eye out for
It's
that.
all new to me.
That is available to the £1.50 tier, isn't it? So you get a
Indeed.
podcast, block content, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's getting good.
Right, the best of Ricky Gervais on religion. I've listened to a few things with Ricky Gervais talk about religion.
I love Ricky Gervais.
He's just, he's an absolute beast, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is, yeah. He's a
Great
very
comedian.
clever guy
Very
as well.
straight,
Comedian.
clever, great writer.
Yeah.
He's got the full lot.
He's a very, very outspoken atheist, isn't he?
I don't normally listen to any stuff on religion, if I'm being honest.
He makes good points. I mean, I'm an atheist as well, but I'm not like, I don't treat that as a religion. I don't go around preaching it to people.
Is he a natural one though, or is it just?
No,
is
he
he
is.
doing it for comedic
No,
purposes?
he is.
You know what I mean? Because some comedy, a lot of comedy is just done for like
He's a legit
effect. Yeah,
atheist. Like I've
enough.
heard him debating sort of scholars over it and things like that because it's pretty good.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into it. The best of
Go
Ricky
for it.
Gervais on religion. Let's do this.
Oh, you must wake up in the morning and say, thank God for my amazing things that are happening. And you said, why would I say thank God? I'm an atheist.
Right.
And it was the first time I'd heard the word atheist on kind of public radio.
Well, I mean, yeah, there shouldn't even be the word, should there? If people didn't invent gods, I wouldn't have to deny them. And it's just... but it's like... I was told when I sort of started breaking America to not mention I was an atheist.
Really?
Oh, 'cause first thing I did. First thing I did. Why, what?
That'd be just like you. That we're going to America.
Don't tell you to do something.
Yeah.
Straight out of the blocks. You got to, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an invitation, isn't it, to do it?
Well, last night I was in the pub last night. My wife was with me, and a few of my mates were with us. And he went, "Do you want another beer, Daz?" And I went, "Yeah, go on." Again, he went, "Oh no, we're leaving now." And I went, "We're leaving?" She went, "Yeah, don't have another." I went, "Have another beer, mate." And not only that, he brought a tray of shots as well.
Oh, dear me.
Nice work. Nice work.
What am I going to do? Imagine not doing something because people hate you because of what you are. That's that's my only thing I've got. I'm a white, rich, middle-class man, but at least I'm hated for being an atheist. Do you know what I mean?
And, have you
I'm oppressed. I'm oppressed in 13 countries I'd never go to anyway.
Have you seen a change in your, over the last, I don't know, that's 20 years or so, about how atheism is perceived?
Well, I mean, you sort of do it. There's part of me that does it because I think I should. That there is someone being persecuted now that might, I can't change the world, but what I mean, maybe someone in a Western world that thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing, because it's still a bad thing in Western society. In America, they took a vote. America, right? Probably that big bit in the middle of America, but we were voted least trustworthy group, joint bottom with rapists. So there's still a thing about, I better not say I'm an atheist, it'll annoy my mum or dad or granddad or school. There's still that. So you do that. Some of it I do it as an intellectual pursuit, because someone asks me a question, I'd rather give the right answer than the wrong answer. I'd rather tell the truth than lie, because it's easier, I think the big thing, people think I run into churches and go, it's all fucking bollocks. I don't care. But if I'm asked if I believe in God, I'll say no. I mean, the tricky one is I did a film called The Invention of Lying, where I did a scene where 7 people saw that film.
That's all right.
where my mother in that is dying, and it's because I'm the only person in the society who can lie. She says, I don't want to go to nothingness. And I go, there's not nothingness. It's a beautiful place you go and you're young again. And I invent heaven, right? And that comes from the fact that when my mum was dying, I did face a dilemma. If she'd have said, do you think there's a God? That's a personal thing, and that's I just try and be honest, really. And the other thing is, if someone else's kid, 5-year-old, asks me, do I believe in God? I sort of think, what should I say here? And I say, well, I don't, but a lot of people do. What do you think? I try and there's still a level of diplomacy. It's not always my place. You know what I mean? I don't.
So you two haven't seen The Invention of Lying?
No, I've not.
It's such a great concept for a movie.
I'm not sure whether it had a good write-ups or not, that when it was out at the time, so I'm not sure if it was put off by it a little bit.
I'm lying, I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
He touched on it there, but no one can lie. So the whole of society, everyone just tells the truth about everything. There's no worrying about people's feelings. And like I said, his mum's on a deathbed, and she's really upset because she just doesn't want to go into the void, and she's scared. And he, as an atheist, invents heaven and kind of invents a God. Yeah. And because no one can lie, it obviously comforts his mum while she's dying, but people overhear it, the nurses overhear it, and he inadvertently starts religion. I never took him serious as an actor until I watched that movie, and that whole scene where his mum's dying and he's inventing heaven and stuff, he's crying, and it's like so believable. Yeah. That's when I first thought he's actually a legit actor. He's not just a.
Don't tell us the ending, because I might watch it now.
It turns out there is a God.
Damn, you're spoiling.
No, I can't remember the ending. To be fair, obviously it just spirals from there. But
I get that.
My house, my rules. If someone asks me something on Twitter, I tell them the truth. It's And there's also this strange thing that I get from faithful people. Why don't you believe in God? Well, that's a very strange question. Why don't you believe in God? Well, you came up with it. Why would I? As to saying I don't know, well, if you're agnostic about God in all his glory and in all his impossibility, you've got to be the same about Santa. You have got to say I don't know. I want to say to an agnostic, what's your best guess there? Go on, have a punt. In fact, I don't ask agnostic. I don't say to agnostics, is there a God? I say, do you believe in God? Now, you can't say I don't know to that question, because if you say I don't know, you're an idiot. What you don't know if you believe or not. And I had this discussion with someone on Twitter, actually, and he said, well, that's not true, because I can ask you, am I wearing a red jumper? And you have no way of informing your guess. And that's true. But now ask me if you're wearing a red jumper that created the universe. Now I can have a little guess. No. No, you are not. It's mental.
See, I said at the beginning of this, I class myself as an atheist. I just don't believe. And you can't force yourself to believe in something that you don't believe in. It's as simple as that. Yeah. But that video we did, the future of the universe, or I can't remember exactly what it was called. But they said that some scientists theorized that we might be able to create and nurture our own mini universes that we can somehow transcend to, that aren't dying like ours, or at a different stage of their evolution. That's the only thing that's baffled me a little bit, because then I'm like, then whoever created that universe is kind of a god. And what if that had already happened and some crazy scientist has invented our universe because
he'd
his
just
was
be a
dying?
crazy scientist, though. He wouldn't be a god.
He's a creator. It depends what your definition of god is, doesn't it?
Well, we create content. Don't make us fucking gods.
Yeah.
Well, not you two anyway.
But it's like the comedian the other day, was it Trevor Noah? He was doing that skit, wasn't he, where this guy said, what's your god called, though? Because there's loads and loads and loads of gods, isn't there?
And what's your perception of a god? Because not all gods are the same in different religions.
People can believe in their own god and have their personal concepts of a god. That's fine.
Like Godzilla.
But yeah, if the definition to some people of a god is the person who created the sun, the moon, the stars, the universe, everything, then a crazy scientist who managed to create his own mini universe to nurture would be god of that universe.
Yeah. It might be called like Brian.
Probably is.
And then it'd be like
Brian Cox.
Yeah. Can't be created by someone called Cox.
Cox do a lot of creating.
So for you, because anyone who follows you on Twitter, and you have a huge following, they'll know that you are a pathological atheist, and therefore the thought of death is very final for you. And for me, as a good Irish Catholic boy, it's the start of something new and glorious. For you, that's it.
For me, it's the end of something glorious, so I have to pack it all in. But, you know, I'm not depressed about it. I don't want to die any more than anyone else. And I think there's this strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for.
You have more to live for.
We have everything to live for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine you have a more focused attention to life because you think it ends when you die.
I think it's precious. I think it's beautiful. I think the world is amazing. I love people, animals, art, every hobby. I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world. My nan used to say that. She lived till 83. I think it was 40 years we were going, I'm not long for this world.
What are you said the things you like. What are the things that really annoy you?
Only two things really, really make my blood boil, I suppose. I suppose in general, as I get older, injustice. Injustice quietly makes my blood boil. Either personal, social, political, personal. I suppose the two main categories are religious intolerance, this arrogance that you think, you know, arguing over whose God is right sort of gets me down a little bit, you know. And I've got no problem with spirituality. I really haven't. You know, that's another myth. And I always try and make the difference clear between spirituality and religion. One is a very personal feeling, a journey, a hope, or whatever, a need, you know, a joy. And the other is an organised body that uses that for power and corruption in many cases. In many cases. And you know, I don't have either, but I suppose I think that when it affects me, that's when I have a say in it. And religion affects me. Religion's very real. Spirituality, it doesn't really affect me. There's lots we don't.
Can we just have a pause there to say, Piers Morgan, does anyone actually like him?
Not sure. Maybe his mum.
Muted him.
Even that.
I started watching This Morning a few months back, just before he got sacked.
Yeah.
And although I really dislike him, the throwing the cat amongst the pigeons sort of attitude, I actually did quite enjoy in that context.
He does get into people's ribs. That you don't, some politicians that you.
He's a good journalist.
Yeah, you have a politician there that you don't like. He'll get in there and ask the questions that you won't ask him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something about him in there.
Watch one of life stories and when people are in prison and all that, and they're on death row and stuff like that. He interviews them.
Imagine him being your last interview. Piers Morgan comes for a chat just before you get the electric chair.
You get another 25 years, wouldn't you?
Do me this afternoon, do me now.
No, but we don't jump to conclusions. We don't know everything about the brain, but that's not to say that everything about the brain is unknowable.
We rejoice in not knowing, not because we don't want to know, but because we've got something to work on.
Absolutely. That's why people do puzzles. It comes back to hobbies. You do a puzzle because you don't know the answer yet.
And scientists are doing puzzles trying to find out the answers to the nature of reality.
Absolutely. Of course, that's all we're doing. Science just tries to understand the world a bit more for its own ends.
And it's a wonderful process.
It's fantastic.
It's worth living for.
Because it should enhance mankind. Yeah. You know, this ridiculous thing about science coming up with the atomic bomb. I don't know what argument that is. No. That's evil. Well, no. This other one as well. How many times have you heard someone say, some idiot fundamentalist say, well, Hitler was atheist?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
There are good and bad atheists.
Yes.
There are good and bad people who believe in God. Yeah. But very few atheists kill in the name of atheism.
Exactly.
It's an irrelevance to me. I hate being labelled.
I didn't know Hitler was an atheist, actually.
No, I didn't.
I never even thought about it.
No.
But again, it is pretty irrelevant, really, isn't it? Really, whether he was or not, I suppose.
I assumed that religion would have played a big part because of his hatred of Jewish people, that he would have been classed himself as an other religion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd just hate all religions equally, you'd think.
I never even thought about it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, bizarre.
Yeah.
An atheist because it's not how I live my life. I don't live my life going around going, I'm an atheist.
No,
and
exactly.
There's billions of other aspects to my life, why I do things. It just, when God's brought into the equation, I don't take that on board. I don't do anything because of God's watching me, or because I feel God owns anything, or God's driving me. It's a strange word and it's a strange label.
It is. Hitler actually wasn't an atheist.
No, I know, he was a Catholic, wasn't he?
Yes.
Oh,
Stalin probably was an atheist, but neither of them did their good things or their bad things. Not they didn't.
Of course not.
Neither of them did their bad things because they believed or because they didn't believe in God.
No, of course not. It was irrelevant. I remember, what were you on? Were you on a show in America when someone said, well, Stalin and Hitler were both atheists, and I think you said, well, they both had moustaches as well.
Yes.
It's just relevant. A totally irrelevant statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But, they're clutching at straws.
Yes.
They're clutching at straws. They don't like atheists.
No.
I mean, we're at the top of the tree. We're white, middle-aged, Western men, but we blew it because we're atheists. So we're the most hated, oppressed people on the planet. You can't run for president if you're an atheist.
Well, you can, but you won't get in.
Oh, well, right, fine. Yeah. That's cut. That's wrong.
So we don't need God to be good.
We don't need God to be good, and even if we did, we haven't got him.
Quite right.
So there's
what
no
matters
point.
is what's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't choose to live, but I love it.
Me too. Thank you very, very much.
My pleasure. Cheers.
I like how Ricky Gervais can just be respectful and articulate.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you need to do on things like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No point being a dick. He's
All
not,
the
he's
people
not a
going shouting, he's
fundamentalist.
banging, jumping up and down, shouting and screaming. You don't need that, do you? You need proper, proper arguments like that.
Yeah.
I might go into the church and start shouting, it's a load of bollocks.
Ricky Gervais
That was your style, yeah.
It'd be quite funny, that, wouldn't it?
I actually think religion's a good thing for the best part. Although I don't believe in a God, I think that the sort of institution that it helps a lot of people, it gives a lot of people comfort when they need it. I think it's a really good thing. As a framework for how to live your life, I think religion...
What about your children? Would they believe in God?
It's up to them.
Do you tell them there's a God or anything like that, or do you tell them there's no God?
Never had the discussion.
No. We haven't either. I mean, we were just bought like C of E in school and everything.
Same.
But yeah, we just left it to us really as to whether it's whether we believed or not. I suppose
they can find it themselves, and I fully support their right to choose. If they weigh up the pros and cons of different gods as well.
A lot of people have said over years that religion is a cause of pretty much all wars in the world. I
think it's an excuse. I think it's a scapegoat for wars.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, but like they were saying before, there's good and bad people that got all sort of religions that believe in all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Most good, like Catholics and people that believe in God, most of them are good. They would like to say it's a good framework to live your life.
Name one.
But
kidding.
Yeah.
I get what you mean by that. It is a good framework. Mostly, all these religions are, good things, a good way of life.
Is being good for fear of burning in eternal hell actually being good? Or is being good off your own back because you want to be good and you want to be nice to people actually good?
Well, I have no fear of burning in eternal hell.
No, I don't.
So I'm good. I'm good for me. Well, I'm good.
No, because off your own
benefit,
back. Yeah, because it makes you
feel better.
Happy, and that's. I think most people are the same like that.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting one, though. Very interesting.
Yeah, let's get back to some comedy.
Good. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell. See you in church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.